Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This week's video is just a quick review of the Alexo Athletica 7/8 leggings in camo. First, I'm going to start off by just reviewing them as plain old leggings, like not even talking about the concealed carry part, just how I like them as plain leggings, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about how I like them as actual concealed carry leggings. So overall, I do like the fit of these leggings. Particularly, I actually really love the length of them on my 5-foot frame. They're the 7/8 leggings, and yeah, like I said, I'm 5 feet tall, and they fit me perfectly. Like, they're not too long, but they're also not capris. They're just actually the right length. For a lot of other leggings, I have to have them just custom fit, or I just roll them up. So it's nice to have these actually fitting me the right way. So on their website, in a lot of their advertisements, they talk about how the concealed carry portion of the leggings actually kind of sucks you in and acts as like a tummy control, which is totally accurate. They're like tummy control leggings. If you've ever tried like Spanx leggings, they like really suck you in super tight, and these do that as well. Personally, I don't love that feature, but when we get into talking about these leggings in like a concealed carry context, it's definitely necessary for them to be really snug like that. It's part of the feature of the concealed carry part of it. But for me personally, I don't really love the feeling of it being so snug. I like my leggings to fit me nice and tight, but these have like a thicker waistband to them because of the pockets that are designed into the waistband. And so it's kind of rigid in a way. And when I like bend over and roll around, it doesn't move with me very well, and can cause discomfort for me personally throughout the day. But I know a lot of ladies really love that feeling and the control feeling. So that's just not me. Something I also wanted to mention really quick about the overall fit of these leggings is, like I said earlier, they fit me pretty well and fit my body proportions well. The only part that seems to not fit perfectly is like right in the groin area. When I like bend and move around, it actually bunches up quite a bit instead of like kind of conforming to my body like a stretchy legging would typically. They kind of bunch up. So in comparison to, say, my Lululemon leggings, I don't experience any like bunching or wrinkling just because of the way that they fit me. But with the Alexos, I've noticed some bunching in the groin area. Something that I really like about these leggings that I don't get in some of my Lululemon leggings is the side pockets. I really love having side pockets. Who doesn't? Like, if you have leggings, you want pockets on them. And that's actually one of the big draws to Alexos, and something they advertise really heavily is that you can fit whatever you need to carry in your leggings. And I love that, especially for like a running legging, so that you can bring your pepper spray with you and you can put maybe your phone in that pocket while you're jogging. So that part I really do like. The thing that I noticed actually with the 7/8 camo leggings, as well as the range leggings that I have, they're not squat proof. And I know that I've noticed some other influencers saying that they are squat proof, so maybe they are for them, but I wore black undies with my camo ones and gave my husband a really good squat, and he let me know that they were definitely not squat proof. So that's just my experience and wanted to share that. So let's go ahead and talk about these leggings as an actual holster and how they function doing that. One thing I do want to mention really quick is that I actually wound up buying 2 pairs of these and returning one of them. I like to try to buy things used. It's just like a thing that I do. And I actually bought my first pair of Alexos used, and the person that I bought them from said they wore them about a dozen times, that they were still in really great condition. And so I was like, great, I'll save a couple bucks and I'll buy these used. They came in and they totally weren't at all still in good condition. And I actually felt like that was really helpful for this review, because she said she wore them about a dozen times, and the pockets, a lot of these seams were actually broken in the concealed carry pockets, and that actually affected how they worked. They still held the firearms securely, but the card was able to move around a lot more in that front pocket, and the pocket was actually worn out laterally, and so I could actually press my Glock 42 really deep into that holster to the point where I actually couldn't get a good grip anymore. So I just wanted to mention that part here. I was able to try a pair of leggings that had been used quite a bit, and they didn't seem, especially the concealed carry legging portion of it, the actual holster part of it, didn't seem to hold up very well. The leggings were still in good condition, but the holster pockets weren't. Part of the reason why I wanted to mention how those used leggings had held up was because actually after just wearing my brand new ones that I got from Primary Arms, I wore them, I think it was the first time I wore them, and I didn't put a holster in the pocket. I put my blue gun in the holster pocket and a card in the front like they advertise you're supposed to. And one of the seams actually broke, like just wearing them that first time, just wearing them out and about. I didn't do any exercise in them. I didn't take them for a run. I was just kind of walking around my house and doing yard work with a blue gun in the leggings, and I had one of the seams break. So I wouldn't say it's a one-off experience, just because I've noticed 2 pairs of their leggings and having the pockets start to have the seams rip out. And maybe it is just me. Maybe it is just me, but that's been my experience twice now, seeing those holster pockets start to kind of fall apart pretty quickly. Okay, if you get nothing else out of this video but this one thing, then please just get this. You cannot use these leggings without a trigger guard. Absolutely not. Like, I feel so confident saying this. You cannot use these leggings without a trigger guard, and you cannot use a credit card. Sorry, I'm really passionate about this. You cannot use a credit card for trigger protection with a chambered firearm. Like, that is just, that's not okay. Like, it is not enough trigger protection. Those holsters, the front pocket legging 2-pocket design thing is great, cool and dandy if you're carrying like pepper spray or whatever else that you carry in those pockets. But if you're carrying a chambered firearm, you need to have a hard trigger guard covering both sides of the trigger. Just using a card, that card can move around in the pocket, as you can see here, and I can pull the trigger through it. And that is reality. That card will move around as you move around throughout the day, especially if you're running, if you're doing combatives, if you're doing like running around picking up your kids, playing with your kids at the park. Like, we are very active people, especially if we're wearing leggings, and we need to be able to trust our trigger guard to actually protect the trigger, and a credit card does not do that. So now that we've established that using a card in that front pocket as trigger protection for a firearm is unacceptable, I also want to add something else in here that I've seen a lot of people suggest putting your license to carry, your driver's license, your ID in general in that front pocket. And I want to suggest to you how bad of an idea that is, because if you have to present your license to carry to a police officer, you're going to reach for your firearm as you go to access your ID to hand to a police officer. I hope that you can draw your own conclusions as to how and why that is so extremely dangerous and unacceptable. Maybe just try putting your ID if you're not carrying a bag or anything else. These leggings do have a lot of pockets in them, so you can put your ID in the pocket on the side of your leg, or maybe in one of the other holster pockets on the back, like a decent far way away from your firearm. You don't want to have to put yourself in a situation where you would be endangering both yourself and that police officer. So now that we've established that the card thing is a bad idea just for a lot of different reasons, I would say that this can be solved by using a Kydex trigger guard. I see a lot of people doing that, and actually Alexo did just change what they originally had on their website to say that they do want you to be using a Kydex trigger guard with it. So keep that in mind, that a Kydex trigger guard is going to solve the trigger protection issue. The thing that it's not going to solve, though, is the reholstering safely and reholstering on body problem that tends to arise with pretty much any soft shell holster or collapsible holster, which is exactly what these leggings are, is essentially a soft shell collapsible holster. So when you take the gun out of the holster pocket, it completely collapses and pancakes in on itself. It does not remain open to allow you to safely reholster. So by the nature of the way that these leggings are designed, like I said, it's difficult to reholster safely. And honestly, I feel like I see some influencer or just somebody on Instagram in general about once a week at least flagging themselves as they're holstering their gun into these leggings. Typically that's done by them holding the pocket open and just muzzling their their support hand on the way into the holster, or in order to avoid flagging their hand, they'll actually point the muzzle of the gun into their body to sort of like nose the gun into the holster pocket. So both of those are not acceptable. We should never ever point guns at ourselves. A holstered gun is not a pointed gun. Keep that in mind. If the trigger is covered by a Kydex trigger guard, that's not a pointed gun. But if you're just holstering a loaded firearm, not loaded firearm, into the pocket, without any hard trigger protection on both sides, you're flagging your hand on the way in. So the way that you can solve this is by getting a full Kydex holster and putting that into the pocket. That's how I solved that issue, and having a full Kydex holster allows me to safely reholster and draw, so long as I know how to do that safely by, tipping my backpack, my hips forward, and safely looking my gun into the holster, making sure my shirt is out of the way, there's no obstructions in the holster. One problem that does arise when you do put a full Kydex holster into these holster pockets is the pocket is actually not designed for that. So it does stretch out the pocket, and I think that can ultimately add to the already frail stitching that is on the holster pockets, and can probably add to potentially breaking that stitching. You can solve that by just using the strength of the waistband and clipping the holster to the leggings and forgetting about the pocket altogether. There's some pluses to that, mainly that you can actually customize where the holster is going to sit on your waistline. An issue that arose for me with these leggings is the actual location of the right hand and left hand front pockets. They run into my hip bone. They actually sit right on top of both of my hip bones. And so when I holster my gun, the trigger guard of the actual gun runs into my right hip bone. And even more so when I put an entire holster in there, because the holster pocket for my specific body type and the way that I'm just proportioned sits so close to my hip bone that the holster actually runs into my hip bone. Which leads me right into talking about how these leggings actually conceal. So I talk about concealment features and about how to make things conceal well all the time on my Instagram and on this YouTube channel. It's one of my favorite topics to talk about because it seems to not be common knowledge for a lot of, especially for new concealed carriers, how to actually get the grip to tuck in nice and close to you and how to really achieve great concealment. And unfortunately, I don't feel like these leggings do a very good job of concealing for a lot of reasons, but I did want to mention that the leggings are designed for a subcompact. So my Glock 42 is exactly what these leggings are designed to take on. Some of the issues I ran into, one was actually that the leggings themselves inhibit my draw because the grip of my 42 gets so far down into the holster that I actually wind up grabbing the material on the leggings as I go to draw my gun and kind of fumble my draw a little bit. That has nothing to do with concealment, but I just wanted to mention that. My Glock 42 conceals a lot better than my Glock 48. Just the grip on my Glock 48 is a lot longer, and there's absolutely nothing going on with these leggings to help you tuck the grip of your gun in. So I tried cross draw. I tried putting the gun on the left pocket and facing it towards me, so it's like a cross draw for me since I'm right hand dominant, and that concealed even worse. So part of the problem with the way that these leggings are designed, and it's just kind of the nature of any concealed carry legging that you could possibly buy, is they have to pick a location to put the pocket, and you don't get to customize that for your own body. It's definitely like a one size fits all thing. And if there's anything I've learned about concealment over the last year, is that every single body type is different, and just moving the gun over an inch can make a massive difference for comfort and concealment with a lot of people. Kind of like I was saying earlier, where the trigger guard of my gun runs into my hip bone. And if I could just move it over an inch, it would make all that difference for me, both with concealment and comfort. So that's something to keep in mind here, is you can't really customize the way that where you're carrying to match your comfort and concealment standards. So like I was saying, I can't get the grip to tuck in. There's nothing to really tuck the grip in, and the control waistband helps with that a little bit, kind of sucks it in nice and close, but you definitely are required to wear a baggy shirt to keep it from printing. And you can see here that this shirt specifically does not conceal well. This is a shirt that I like to go jogging in, to be honest. It's super comfy, but I just wanted to show you here that, you know, even if I'm just using the holster pocket and I'm not even using a holster, my 42 is printing pretty substantially. So if you're going to be using these for concealed carry and you actually have concealment standards that you want to live up to, you're going to need to wear a pretty baggy shirt or a really thick material with a pattern to it. So to summarize this entire review, I feel that for me personally, after trying out these leggings and wearing them and using them as concealed carry leggings, at the end of the day, I still much prefer my Lululemon leggings paired with the Filster Enigma, because the Lululemon leggings are squat proof and they fit me perfectly because there's a very wide range of sizing. So if you're in between sizes, they have that option for you. Not only do they fit me better, but honestly, I've noticed they last a lot longer. I have owned my Lululemon leggings for about 4 years, and the only reason I had to retire them is because I burned a hole in them. So, and the leggings that I have now, I actually bought used and have had now for 3 years, and they still look brand spanking new. So I have a better experience with the overall performance of my Lululemon leggings, which are priced almost identically to the Alexo Athletica ones. And the used Alexos that I got had a lot of issues with the holster pockets. The seams were ripped out. And then with my brand new ones, I've already had a seam break on the holster pockets after only wearing them that first time. So overall, I feel like my Lululemons function better as leggings, and my Filster Enigma allows me to conceal really well, allows me to place the holster wherever I want. It allows me to holster safely, draw safely, and it all stays in place pretty much no matter what activity I am doing in my leggings. So at the end of the day, I would say that I feel that it's a much better investment for me to get a quality pair of leggings and have the Filster Enigma that allows me to carry safely in leggings, skirts, jeans, pretty much whatever I want. So that's my review. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope that this review was really helpful and even comprehensive for you guys to watch. And if you feel like supporting Art and Style, please hop on over to my website and grab a sticker or two, and I'll see you guys next week.